Hello everyone. My name is Richard Igwebu. In this video, I'm going to show you how to secure AWS root account. Securing your AWS root account is crucial because it has full administrative access to all AWS services and resources in your account. Here are important steps to secure your AWS root account. We're going to enable multi-factor authentication, set up strong password policies, and create and use IAM users. So let's go ahead and log into the AWS Management Console and see how we can secure our root account. So I'm going to open the web browser, go to aws.amazon.com/console. When you come here, you sign into the console. Then sign in using your root account. Okay, put in your root account email and also put your password. Then click on sign in. So once you sign into your AWS Management Console, on the top right here, you'll see your username. This is your root account username. You want to click on the drop down menu, then click on security credentials. When you did this, then you're going to have this security credentials. You see, you don't have MFA assigned. Okay, so you want to click on assign MFA. Then you're going to give your device a name. I'm going to call this just IT quotient MFA. I can say MFA number 1. Okay, so you can decide to use a passkey or a security key, or you can decide to use an authenticator app or a hardware token. If you request this hardware token, that will take some time. AWS will send you a USB that looks like this, where you'll be using for your hardware token, but that will take a couple of days for it to come in. I will go with the authenticator app. You can use any authenticator. You can authenticate using a code generated by an app installed on your mobile device. A typical example of authenticator app is Google Authenticator. Let me show you how Google Authenticator looks like. So if you go to Google and you search for Google Authenticator, it's going to show you this icon. This is the latest icon for Google Authenticator. This one used to be their icon. So if you download it now, it's going to be this icon. But if you have it already on your phone, maybe from previous version, then it will look like something, it will look like this. So what you're going to do is you download it from the App Store and install it on your phone. Once you install it on your phone, you can use it as your Google, you can use it as your authenticator app. So I'm going to select this authenticator app. I have already downloaded the Google Authenticator on my phone. And once you select that, you click on next. Invalid name. The name should not, there should be no space in the name. Okay, so go to next. The next thing is here we're going to install a compatible application such as Google Authenticator, as I explained, or Duo Mobile or Auth app. Any of this is fine. Google Authenticator is free. You don't have to pay for it. So when you install Google Authenticator, you open it and you're going to click on when you open it, then you come here and click on show code. So when you click on show code, you use your Google Authenticator and scan this um, and scan this barcode. So I'm opening it on my phone, and I'm gonna. When you open Google Authenticator on your phone, there is a plus icon on the bottom right. Click on that plus icon. Once you click on it, then click on scan a QR code. Once you click on scan a QR code, you're going to see a triangular, um, um, you're going to see a square that will enable you to point it to your computer and you scan the code. Once you scan the code, the authenticator will be saved at the bottom of your screen with the name which you give it. In my own case is IT Quotient MFA1. So when you do that, one number will show on the screen. Put the first number here. After you put the first one, you wait for maybe like 60 seconds. The number will change. You put the second number on the second line. So I'm going to put my first number, 427970. Then I go to the second line and wait for the number to change. It's going to change in a few seconds. Once it changes, I'll add a second code here, which is so the number has changed. I'm going to put the second one, 205775. Then you click on add MFA. Say error has occurred. Please see the following details. Authenticator code for device is not valid. Let me do it again. First one is 9304456. I wait for it to change. And the second one is 028083. Then click on add MFA. Okay, you see MFA device assigned. You can register up to 8 MFA devices of any combination. Okay, so this is how to assign MFA on the root account. The next thing is when you log out from the root account and you log back in, it's going to require you to enter that multi-factor authentication. So let's go ahead and log out, sign out, click on sign out. Then I'm going to log back into the console. This time around, I'm still going to log in with my root user email. And once I put my password, it's going to ask me for MFA. You see, MFA code. Now you go to dial your MFA authenticator on your phone and type it. This one is 7797819. Submit. So you see, I have logged into the AWS console using multi-factor authentication. So guys, the next thing we're going to take a look at is how to secure our root account password. How we're going to apply password policies to our AWS account so that our password will be very difficult to guess, so that our password will be as secure as it can be. That is the next thing we're going to do. Our password we have to set password policies so that our password will have a combination of letters, alphabets, special characters. It has to be as long as possible, as complex as it can be, so that it will be very difficult for people to guess. So that is the next thing we're going to do now. Let's go back to the AWS Management Console and see how we can set our password policy. Okay, to set up our password, we need to go to IAM. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. That is where we can set our password policies. We can search for IAM here by typing IAM, manage access to your AWS resources. Or we can click on services here, and we can click on all services and search for IAM. IAM is under um, identity and security, under security. So if you scroll down, I think under security and compliance, let's take a look. Pick your RS security. Or rather, let's just go to I. See, it's quite easy to just type IAM, but if we come here, you see IAM here, so you click on that. It takes you to IAM dashboard. So in IAM dashboard, to be able to set our password policies, we go to, so when you come to IAM dashboard, under IAM dashboard, you go to account settings. Under account settings here, you see password policy. Okay, see configure the password requirements for the IAM users. This account uses the following default password policy. The minimum length is 8 characters. We can change it. The password, this is the password length. It includes uppercase, lowercase, numbers, non-alphanumeric. So if you want to change your password policy from the default, you want to click here, come here and click on edit. So then it's asking you IAM default, apply default password policies, or you click here for a custom one. I want to click there for a custom one. So here you define how long you want your password to be. This will be applied to all AWS accounts that are created under this AWS account. I want the password to be at least 12 characters. I can say as the password length. Then we have these options to choose from. Require at least one uppercase letter from Latin A to Z. Yep, I want it. Require at least one lowercase. Yep, I want it. Require at least one number. Select that. Require at least one non-alphanumeric. Select it. So if you choose all these options, then your password will have to meet this requirement for it to be able to be accepted. Other requirements are, if you want to turn on expiration date, if you click here, then you have to define how long this password will last. Let's say I want this password to be changed every 45 days. Then I put 45 there. It has to be between 1 day and 1095 days. You want to set password expiry. Password expiry requires administrator reset. So if you check this option, that means if your password expires, you're not going to be able to change your password, but instead you will contact a member of the admin, somebody that has root access to this, somebody that has admin access to the console to reset your password. We can uncheck that so that users will be able to change their password when it expires. We can say allow users to change their own password. If you check this box, users should be able to change your password. If you select this option that prevents password reuse, we can say any password that has been used for the past 5 times cannot be reused again. So if you're happy with this, click on Save Changes. Say Set Custom Password Policy. This will impact any new user created and all the existing users changing their password. To impact all new users, this will impact any new user creation and all the existing users changing their password. So if you are a new user that is being created, this password policy will apply to you. Or if you're an existing user and you decide to change your password, then the new password policy applies as well. So click on Set Custom. So this is how we change the password policy. If I sign out from this root account and if I sign out and I sign back in again, I'm going to sign back in with the new password, and the new password must meet the password requirements which I just set. So if I want to log back in using my root account, click on Next. It's going to ask me for my password. My current password is what it's asking me for, so I'm going to say put the current password. Then I'm going to sign in. Then it's going to ask me for the MFA. Then I'm going to get my MFA. And the MFA code is this 525639. Then I'm going to click on Submit. So I signed in with my old password, but the password policy does not apply to me yet until I decide to change my password. Once I decide to change my password, then the new password policy applies. Okay, that is how to set password policies. In the next video, or rather as we continue, the next thing we're going to take a look at is how to create IAM user. So to create an IAM user, we have to go back to the IAM dashboard. Why should we create an IAM user? The best practice is not to log into our account using our root account. The best practice is not to log into the AWS Management Console using our root account. The best practice is to create an IAM user that has root privilege or that has administrative privilege. So to create an IAM user, you go to the IAM dashboard, then you go to users, then you go to create user, give the user a username. In this case, I can call the user 01. The username can have up to 64 characters, and it has to have these names in there, or should have these names if you want to. Provide access to AWS Management Console. This is optional, but you want the user to have access to AWS Management Console. So you check that box. When you check that box, it's asking you, are you providing console access to a person? User type, specify a user in the Identity Center recommended, or you can say, I want to create an IAM user. I am creating an IAM user. I select that. Then it's going to ask you for the password. Do you want a password to be automatically generated, or do you want a custom password? If you select automatically generated password, that is fine. But if you select a custom password, you select this one. Okay. Now, let us select automatically generated password. So this is the password policy which we set. This password policy, if we choose auto-generated password, you must meet this password policy. If we select custom password, we have to put it here. You must meet this password policy, minimum of 12 characters and all those information. So let's do auto-generated. Next is that you want users to change their password on the next login. This is recommended. If you check this box, when the user you created logs in with this auto-generated password, the system will prompt the user to change his or her password. The reason why this is important is that nobody will be accused of knowing your password. So I would check this box, log in with the auto-generated password, then the system will prompt me to change my password. Then I can change it to a custom password that nobody knows. So I'm going to click on next. It's going to ask me here to add permissions. When you create a user in AWS, that user has no permission at all. You can decide to give the user, assign a permission to the user, or assign policies to the user, or add the user to a group, or copy an existing permission, or attach policies directly. I don't want to do any of this. I don't want to add the user to a group. And or rather, I don't want to copy permissions or add the user to attach an existing policy. I can add the user to a group. In that case, I am going to create a group. Or let's say I want to attach policy directly to that user. Let's select this option. Then we're going to give that user a permission. Permission here, Amazon has all these preset permissions. All these policies you see in orange cube are policies that are preset by AWS. We can see there are so many of them, goes up to page 61 and so forth. The policy we're going to assign to this user will be administrator access. So administrator access, if you check on that, that means we are giving this user an administrator. An administrator will have admin access to the whole AWS resources. Then go ahead and click on next. Then it's going to ask you, it's going to give you the permission you have assigned to this user. The type is AWS managed job function and the use as permission policy. You can go ahead and add tags. If you want to add tags, you have up to 50 tags to add. Otherwise, you come here and click on create user. So the user has been created, but the credentials, this is where you download the credentials. This is the only time you will see this page. Okay, it gives you the console link for the user to log in to the console. It gives you the user's username, okay, and it gives you the console password. This is the only time you will see this page. So you want to click on, you can click on show. That will show you the password, or you click on download now to download the CSV file. You click on show, you see the password. Click on hide, it hides the password. Click on download CSV, it will download the CSV file for you. Once you navigate away from this page, you cannot see this page again. So you want to make sure you download the CSV file, then click on return to user list. Now you can see the user has been created with the name of the user, user01. Okay. So the next time we're going to log in, we will log in as an IAM user, not with our root account anymore. So for us to log in with our IAM user, we need to know the account name, or account ID. So if you click on the top right here, this is the account ID. You want to make sure you copy this account ID, okay? Because we're going to use it in our next login. Now we can sign out. We have created an IAM user. So we're going to log back into the console with the IAM user we just created. Click on sign back to the console. This time we're not going to log in as our root account. We will log in as an IAM user. So you click here. It's going to ask you for the account ID or for the alias. Then that 12-digit account ID, could I copy it? You paste it here. Then you click on next. It's going to ask you for the username. The username we created is user01. Then the password. The password is that password we downloaded in the CSV file, that auto-generated password. So you go to your download folder and you see the CSV file here. You double click on that to open it. Then you will see the username is at 01. You see the password. This is the password. So you want to copy this password. Okay. It's grayed out. Okay, so let me open this on a notepad so I'll be able to copy it. I'm going to go to File, Open. I'll go to my download folder, download, go to all files, open this. So this is the password. It starts from here and ends here. So do right click and copy the password. Then go back to the AWS login session, paste the password here and say sign in. Once you sign in, because we set our password policy, because when we are creating the password, we indicated that the user must change the password when he logs in. Now it's telling you that you must change your password to continue. Old password, we paste that old password here. The new password, this is where the password policy comes in. So I'm going to put a password that has 12 characters that meets all the password policies which we set. I'll do the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to click on change, confirm change password. So I've logged into the AWS Management Console using the IAM user. If you look here, you will see that the user here is user01 at the account number. The next thing I'm going to show you is to show you how to change this account number to something that you can remember. Instead of using this account number here, we're going to change it to a different name, which is called account alias. So I'm going to sign out here as the IAM user. I want to sign into the root account. So I want to sign in using root email. Then put in my password. Sign in. Get my multi-factor authentication. 843198. Submit. So on the top right here, you see IT quotient, that's the account name. If you scroll down, you see the account ID here. Okay. So if I click on account, you will see here, this is the account name. Okay. You see, this is the account ID, this is the account name. So if I click on edit, You can edit your name and edit your email address if you want. Then you click on done. But what we want to do is the account alias. Instead of you having this long ID, we want to change it to something that we can remember. So to change this account ID to an alias, maybe change it to IT quotient, we have to go to the IAM dashboard, search for IAM here. Go to IAM Management Console, IAM dashboard, excuse me. Then on the right here, you see the account ID, you see account alias. So you want to click here to create alias. Now you're going to replace that account ID with something that you want. I'm going to replace it with something I can remember, IT quotient. Okay. So my sign-in URL is going to be https://it quotient.signin.aws.amazon.com/console. If this alias is available, you come here and click on create alias. Okay, so that is done. If you look here, you see the account ID and you see the account alias here. So if I sign out, I'm going to sign back in using the AWS IAM user and using the alias instead of the account ID. So I'm going to sign out. I'm going to sign back in as the IAM user. IAM username is user01. Click on next. Excuse me. Let me go back. Go back. Sign in as an IAM user. What you're going to put here is not the username, but account IAM user. You're going to put the account ID here or the alias. The alias is IT quotient. Then you click on next. Then the username is user01. Then the password is the password we just changed. Then you click on sign in. You can see the name has changed to user01 at IT quotient. Okay, so this is how to sign in with an IAM user and use AWS resources. Okay, thanks for watching this video. I will see you on the next one.